Namaskar. We welcome you to our Women Empowerment series. Today on our series, we have the talented Aparna Karthikeyan. She is a thought leader and a change maker in the field of education. She took on the reins of Thambu Nursery and Primary School and steered it to a huge success through the recent turbulent times. In a short period, she single handedly introduced novel methods of teaching academics by making fun and happiness as a top priority of young children. She is an MBA graduate who excelled in literary and academic fields as a young child. A trained Bharathnatyam dancer and a self taught painter, she blossomed as an all rounder growing up. When she moved to Singapore after her marriage, she chose to devote her time as a full time stay at home mother to her three daughters and took over the role of commander in chief for all the activities revolving around their children, be it their education or extracurricular activities or fun filled adventures. Singapore was a perfect place for developing young minds to go and explore, as it had plenty of things to do, like massive national parks and clean beaches, heritage sites, and amazing libraries that can quench the thirst of any voracious reader. She also took up the role of a parent volunteer at their children's schools that brought her closer to experiencing firsthand the education methodology they follow and how much the children enjoy their school life. Fast forward to 2015, and they moved back to Coimbatore for good. Her life is a perfect example of fate connecting the dots, as her life experiences as a mother and as a parent volunteer helped her gain clarity in her vision for Thambu Nursery and Primary School. Today, our interaction takes us into the field of education to Thambu School, an institution that was established in 1970 and has been providing education from kindergarten to higher secondary for the last 50 years as a leading institution in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. This school was established by the late Sri Palanisamy Naidu, an eminent industrialist. He was a self made man who rose up and established himself in life through sheer hard work and dedication. He was a visionary who got accolades for his invention and contributions in the field of engineering. Life dealt him a blow when he lost his young 15-year-old son, Purushothaman alias Thambu. Overcome by great grief a father should never face, he decided to honor his son's memory and build a school in his name, a legacy to give back to society. Dear friends, I am very glad to introduce today's speaker, the talented Mrs. Aparna Karthikeyan. She is the granddaughter of the founder and the current secretary for Thambu Nursery and Primary School, which consists of grades LKGs to primary 5. Access to education was a luxury that many women didn't have growing up. Education now is recognized as a birthright for all children. This is a huge step for women's empowerment. That being said, a school is a place where well being should take priority, as the well being of our children is our single most important concern for any parent. It is a pleasure to welcome our guest today, a person who integrates women empowerment and well being into every aspect of school life as she makes huge strides through her work at Thambu. We welcome you, Aparna. Over to you.
Hi, Naveena. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. It was really nice of you to comment on my work done so far at Thambu Nursery and Primary School. It's been a pleasure to meet you this afternoon, and I'm happy to share my journey with you.
Thank you very much for joining us. How did you come into work as a secretary at Thambu Nursery School?
Yes, I was born and brought up in Coimbatore. I'm an MBA graduate. I got married in 1998 and left to Singapore. I am a wonderful, mom of wonderful kids, three of them. And as my husband was traveling, I uh, had the choice of being a stay-at-home mom. I took my job very seriously. I loved spending my time with my children. I learned a lot from seeing the world through their eyes. And when they went to school, I joined as a parent volunteer in their schools. So I was able to see how their schools, the methodology and how much importance they gave to their welfare in Singapore. Fast forward to 2015, I moved back here with my three children and took up this role in 2018. And of course, armed with life's lessons and my rusty MBA, I'm happy to do my best at Thambu.
That's good to know. It is said that children spend maximum time in school apart from the house. So, the way the environment is made for the children in the school, it molds their entire life and their future forward. And it is also a fact that in India, especially in nursery and primary schools, only women are allowed to take care of the children at that tender age. So, please share how you are empowering the children through this role at the school.
When I took over, we immediately realized that fun and happiness is going to be our top priority. And our mantra, I formulated this play, learn, and grow mantra. And for play, what we did was usually when you go to your class in the morning, the class teacher will wish you a good morning. The children will wish the class teacher back. But at Thambu, we do it differently. We ask our children to meet the class teacher individually, and they choose what form of greeting they want from a chart. So this can be a high five or a wave, or it can be a twirl and a clap, or a big thumbs up and saying hello, or it can be a little jingle, hands on your hips and do a little shake and say hi to the teacher. And they choose this themselves, in the sense the child will choose what she wants to do and the teacher will comply. So young children simply loved it. They are leaving their mothers for the first time, they come here to the school. It's the closest we can get, as form of physical contact. And the first order of the day is usually play. Our children go out in the early morning sun and they have supervised play. And they play for about 30-40 minutes. And when the bell rings, they'll go wash up. Their brain cells is all revved up and very happy and energized before they come to class. Now of course the summer is here, the heat wave is intolerable, so we have asked our children to sit down for some quiet time with their storybook or a book borrowed from a library. And this also helps their creative juices flowing. And the first period also, just before we start, we do a quick temperature checkup, being mindful of our social distancing protocols. And then we'd have some shlokas followed by 1 minute of meditation where they close their eyes. We ask our children to observe their breathing. And after that they have a set of positive affirmations where they will remind themselves of how great they are and how much they can achieve if they put their mind to it. And followed by a small fun yoga activity, which can be hand gestures or even our famous topukarnam, you know so it's basically fun and happiness all put together at Tambu. This is uh, our play, And next, coming to academics, I have realized that young children's needs are vastly different from older children. We need to give them the time and the space to have to learn, but in a very fun environment. So all our lessons have a lot of videos. Two or three things happen by giving them these videos. You get a better clarity of the concept itself. Then when we choose the right videos, we are able to give them the right pronunciation, and it helps the child remember much better, because when you see a video versus reading a text, you can imagine which one they'll have better memory and better recollection, right? So this helped in learning the concepts. Of course, once you finish a topic, we introduced mind maps. Mind maps are nothing but a pictorial representation of the concepts in one page. So at the end of it all, you have all this concepts all linked together in one page, so it's easy for the child to remember. And you top all this with, if the weather permits, we'll take them out under the trees. It's oxygen rich under the trees, it's fun. So the children absorb in a very quiet way under the shade of our trees. Of course, we have our no book day, which also complements, it's not always learning at Thambu. You have fun activities like dancing, singing, some sports. We even end the day with, movie screening appropriate for the children. So they look forward to a lot of things when they come to Thambu. Or some total is academics has shot up, and our parents are happy. Children love it too. What more can we ask for?
Very true. I really like the way you have given so many fun-filled activities for the child, starting from the time they enter the school, meet the teacher, greet the teacher, from
Yeah.
choosing the way they can actually greet the teacher.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that in my school. And yeah,
Like,
that
true. Yeah.
yeah, that is truly special because when they are given the chance to come and greet the teacher, when they are given the chance to choose the way that they can greet the teacher, we are giving them the power of choice. We're teaching them
Yes.
how to think. That is very important. I would like you to share more about the notebook day that you were talking about. Why have you introduced that?
See, no book day is not new, frankly. Some other schools also were doing it. What we realized was we should not stress out the child, and we should allow the child to have look forward to school, basically. To have one day where they don't care about books. The teacher will not be scolding you, they will not be asking you to study. It will just be fun, 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 whenever we want to go out and have fun, the children are ready. But sometimes you do notice children not wanting to go to school. So of course, what we have done recently is we have incorporated that in our regular week. So it's no longer one day in a month. It is more like they look forward to small pockets in the day. It could be one period every day. First of all, we have reduced our working hours after the pandemic, because we want our children to come back in a more relaxed state and not get too stressed out. The second being, they have to look forward to something fun every day. It should not be monotonous. They should not want to take off on a particular day because there's no fun activity. So we have library hour, we have reading only hour where there is no writing. Then we have a storytelling session. We also have abacus, and we have art and craft and drawing and painting. This should ideally include PT, but because of social distancing protocol, we are not having PT as of yet. But we have some indoor sessions, where they can still comment and play puzzle games and stuff. So children look forward to these classes a lot. Absenteeism has dropped drastically after we did this. So it should be fun. Fun filled activity should be there in the school.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So, how did you manage during the lockdown?
The lockdown actually taught us a lot of life lessons, actually, because we thought only brick and mortar schools are the right way for teaching children. It showed us that technology can still connect us. So we have to be very, very grateful that technology enabled us to connect with our children. But having said that, it is not the right platform for young children, especially because there's a lot of health and behavioral issues that come with staring at a screen and holding on to his attention. He gets very distracted very easily. Small children do. So, really difficult to give a lot of information. So, we had to bring our information into a small nutshell. So, it was a learning process for all teachers across the world, and we did it fairly well with a lot of videos, with a lot of teaching aids, with mind maps, with a lot of short repetitions. So we were very very effective, and I'm very thankful to technology for giving us the opportunity to connect.
What is your motto in school? Would you like to share something about that?
Yeah, our biggest takeaway after pandemic, I should say, is no matter how great it is to be able to teach, we should still have proper schools, because there is a whole lot of things to be taught, not just from textbooks. Um, there's something called as life skills, which are just as important, if not more important than just books, because life skills such as teamwork, caring and sharing, or routines and discipline, or sportsmanship and competitive spirit, or negotiating skills, or when you have a fight, conflict management. These are all amazing life skills to that children need to learn, and all this they can only learn in a proper setting with children of their age, same age group. They can't practice this with others, frankly. So a school is the best place. It has the right infrastructure, it has the routines, and it has supervised peer group where the teacher supervises everything. So we cannot do away with brick and mortar schools. So because life skills are very important. In Tambu, we have one more aspect of our motto, the grow part. We have developed something called the Catch Them Right campaign, where we catch these children doing something right throughout the day. So this is to emphasize. For example, it can be something very small, like if you see a child sharing something, or if they give up their spot in the line without making too much of a fuss, or they help another child carry something heavy, whatever, or they see somebody crying and they go and console the other child. So all these things are worthy of a praise. It's not just academics. So when these children do something nice, we go praise them. They want to emote the same emotion, the same kind heartedness over and over and over again. What a wonderful way to inculcate compassion and empathy. Empathy is one word which can encompass a lot of good nature, in the sense like it is feeling what others feel, being sensitive to others, and being kind to the other person. Empathy is really what makes the world go round, in my opinion. It's amazing to culture this and invest in this feeling in young children in primary schools. So we have done that, and children love getting praise from our parents. I think with the world facing war in Ukraine, especially now, this makes so much sense, because if you have someone who's academically very smart but he's a criminal, he's still just that, a smart criminal. It doesn't make him a compassionate person. um, Albert Einstein has said that it is important, peace can only be achieved through understanding. It can't be forced. So I think this is the best way to enforce good character development amongst children without enforcing it, by actually giving them the right environment for them to grow and explore their own nature.
I agree completely with you on that. I have only again seen teachers catching children doing something wrong or a small mistake and then telling them, hey, why are you doing this? Don't do this. But uh, the way that you have incorporated this campaign, you're actually catching the children for all the things that they're doing right and praising them. That's truly awesome. This not only makes their day, but it also makes their whole life ahead because they look forward to bettering their nature, being a better person, and also spreading that kindness to everybody. One act of random act of kindness keeps creating multiple ripples. And
Yes, very true.
by teaching this to the all of the children in school, just imagine how many times more it's multiplying out there to everybody.
That's exactly our point. In fact, women empowerment becomes so much more easier when you teach young children to respect each other's boundaries and give them respect basically and be very empathetic. They simply, it's so much easier to make them understand about pay gap in gender or women not getting enough opportunities generally. It's amazing how much we can do just by concentrating on the character development of children in primary schools.
Lovely. So, would you share a message to everybody out there how they can inculcate all the learnings that you're teaching in the school for young children, for all the parents out there, for all the women out there? What can they learn? What is the message that they can imbibe in their life?
Wow, that's a lot. I think we should keep our message very simple. We have to start with our own homes, with our own children, with our own families. What we need to understand is work life balance is difficult as it is. Empowering each other is what we should be doing as humans, and being very empathetic and respecting the other person is very important for us to progress as mankind. We have to start small and we have to keep doing it in real time. We have to keep practicing it in small steps for us to really change. And it is just very easy and very doable, but we have to start.
So that everybody has to start with that first step, and that first step is most hardest. And once we make a decision and put one step forward, then all the steps just magically follow one after the other, as long as we have our goal ahead in our mind. So,
Very true.
Namaskar. Thank you once again, Aparna, for joining us on this Women Empowerment series.
Thank you so much. It's been so wonderful chatting with you. I've had amazing time sharing the progress made at Thambu. I really hope and pray that our message reaches across millions. Yaha is doing a wonderful job. Please keep up with the series. It's been an amazing time meeting with you today.
Yes, thank you very much. And we really hope and pray that what you're teaching the children in the school not only makes an impact in their life, but also makes an impact in their parents' lives and also to everyone that they are connected with. And each of them grow to become an empowered individual or future leaders of our nation. Thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Thank you.